hits the glass in a different way. I've been holding my breath since the middle of May, watching the frost as it melts on the ledge, standing so long on the edge of the edge. The silence was heavy, a blanket of gray. I watched as the color started to fray. But something is shifting beneath the ground, a hollow echo that's losing its sound. I'm breaking the seal, I'm letting it go, watching the river begin its slow flow. I'm wide awake now, the sky is turning blue, finally seeing the world, and it's finally true. The letters I wrote are all buried in ink. I don't have to worry, I don't have to think. The weight in my chest is becoming a ghost, leaving behind what I feared the most. The shadows are shrinking, they're losing the fight, pulling my face toward the heat of the light. But something is shifting beneath the ground, a hollow echo that's losing its sound. I'm breaking the seal, I'm letting it go, watching the river begin its slow flow. I'm wide awake now, the sky is turning blue, finally seeing the world, and it's finally true. The variables are floating in a pool of ink, a pool of ink. I'm standing at the threshold, try to think. Recursive loops are spinning in the gray, turning every night into a neon day. I see the sequence just beneath the skin, where the objective ends and the ghost begin. The ghost begin. It's all just computation, a perfect resolution in a chaotic equation, reaching for the equilibrium, the sweet release, to find the derivative of a phantom's peace. The walls are full of fractals and the numbers hum. I count the seconds until the morning comes. The slope is getting steeper and the path is thin, where the subjective ends and the objective breaks in, running through the hallways of a hollow mind, looking for the structure that I'll never find. It's all just computation, a perfect resolution in a chaotic equation, reaching for the equilibrium, the sweet release, to find the derivative of a phantom's peace. Everything is chaotic, zero.
Shoreline where the heavy iron rust, watching the skyline trying to calculate trust. Caught in a loop spinning round in the same old gears, trading our hours just to pay off the years. I've been staring at the blueprints, tracing the design, looking for a flaw in the geometry and lines. But there's a spark in the center where the equations fail, where the head and the heart finally meet on the rail. When the system locks down and the ghost in the engine finally shows. I'm building a bridge out of variables and steel, searching for a truth that I can actually feel. Through the whirlwind of the noise, past the shadows on the wall, I'm stepping out of the frame. Code, but the territory shifts when you're out on the road. Try to pin down the spirit with a compass and a square, but it slips through the lattice, just breathing the air. Every debt that we carry, every cost that we weigh, is just a shadow of the toll that we eventually pay. But there's a spark in the center where the equations fail, where the head and the heart finally meet on the rail. When the system locks down and the ghost in the engine finally shows. I'm building a bridge out of variables and steel, searching for a truth that I can actually feel. Through the whirlwind of the noise, past the shadows on the wall, I'm stepping out of the frame. The defenses fall, find the quiet in the center, the silence under it all. There's an enduring light guiding us out of the night.
Yeah. I got dust on my boots and a sky full of dreams, a couple scars I earned and some that nobody sees. I've been running from shadows, I've been chasing the sun. Sometimes I lost myself, sometimes I became someone, and every road that broke beneath me only taught me how to fly. I've got a wildfire heart, you can't hold it down. I've been through the dark, now I'm lighting up this town. Let the wind blow hard, let the rain come pouring down, let the rain come pouring down. I've got a wildfire heart and it still beats loud. Whoa, it still beats loud. I've had people tell me who I ought to be, but the mirror tells a story that belongs to me. Every wrong turn, every late night drive, every bridge I burned just proved I was alive. And every mountain standing in front of me only gives me one more reason to climb. answers, maybe I never will, but I'd rather stand the storm than hide behind the hill. I'd rather fall chasing freedom than spend my life standing still. This heart, let the wind blow hard, let the rain come pour, believing I've got a wildfire heart and it still beats loud. Whoa, it still beats loud. Still beats loud, still beats loud. I'm watching night moth circle in the porch, searching for a flame in the shadow of a torch. Old habits are just ghost stories we tell, spinning in the water of a dry rot well. I'm letting the paper lanterns go, watching them drift where the cold winds blow. If you wanna find me, don't look where I've been, shedding the skin that I'm living in. Let the embers fall, let the dark turn bright. I'm making my own way into the night. A map in my pocket is written in ink that fades when you stand on the edge of the brink. I used to hold the ceiling up with my hands, now I'm just walking on shifting sands. I'm letting the paper lanterns go, watching them drift where the cold winds blow. If you wanna find me, don't look where I've been, shedding the skin that I'm living in. Let the embers fall, let the dark turn bright. I'm making my own way into the night. Maybe the stars are just holes in the floor of a house that I don't need to live in anymore. Build intensity. I'm taking the lock off, I'm taking the key. I'm finally letting the light out of me. I'm letting the paper lanterns go, watching them drift where the cold winds blow. If you wanna find me, don't look where I've been, shedding the skin that I'm living in. Let the embers fall, let the dark turn bright into the night. The driveway's gravel is a history I'm shedding, trading the sunrise for a horizon I haven't met yet. Taillights painting the asphalt like a bruised purple streak. I'm 1,000 miles of static on a radio frequency. I'm running on a heartbeat that's made of heavy lead, leaving the versions of my life I've already lived for dead. It's a long shot exit sign on a road that doesn't end, but I'd rather burn the map and stay here and just pretend. Stay here and just pretend. lights flicking on like a row of ghosts I used to know. The rear view mirror is a postcard of a town I had to outgrow. I've got the window down, swallowing the midnight cold. 100 miles of pavement for a story that's still being told. I'm running a heartbeat that's made of heavy lead, leaving the versions of my life already lived for dead. It's a long shot exit sign on a road that doesn't end, but I'd rather burn the map than stay here and just pretend. Here and just pretend. I don't need a destination, I just need the miles to wash away the rust and all the practice smiles. Just me and the yellow lines and the weight I've shed, driving toward the things that nobody has said. I'm running on a heartbeat that's made of heavy lead, leaving the versions of my life already lived for dead. It's a long shot exit sign on a road that doesn't end, but I'd rather burn the map than stay here and just pretend. Yeah, stay here and just pretend. Yeah, stay here and just pretend.
The beret on the crown, leather drape on the chest. Legacy codified, put to the test. In the city of gods where the concrete is stained, the rhetoric rose up while the system remained. I'm reading the prints, deciphering the code, how the tactical move became the fashion on the road. From the basement, the movement was a structural plan. Now it's aesthetic for the man with the palm in his hand. It's a chess game played in the dark of the hall, watching the figures as they crouch for the fall. It's the lineage hidden in the stance of the street, where the archive and the asphalt eventually meet. You want the history, you want the history, you want the pose, but you're missing the thorn inside of the rose. It's the crouching, the hiding, the lineage. Now the map and the flow, creating the grid, trying to document the things that the ancestors did. It's a stratagem, calculated, cold and precise, selling in the revolution at a premium price. But I'm tracing the ink back to the source of the stain. Before the marketing team put a lock on the chain, before the marketing team put a lock on the chain. It's a panther in the shadows, a ghost in the frame, giving the struggle an its original name. We don't just watch, we interpret the signs, reading between the truth and the bureaucratic lines. In the silence, the echo remains. In the blueprint, the anger sustains. Don't mistake the image for the actual fight. We're just the keepers of the fading light. It's the lineage hidden in the stance of the street, where the archive and the asphalt eventually meet. You want the history, you want the pose, but you're missing the thorn inside of the rose. The thorn, the lineage, just the residue of the fire. Keep the blueprint. We're still here. Crouching in the foyer, yeah, leather coat, beret, tilted. Lightage hidden in the seams, the system was built and tilted. We fed the block before the stock survival on the stovetop. Revolutionary chic, watch the silhouette, don't drop. They took the energy, exported it, put it on a runway, but forgot the breakfast program on a rainy Sunday. It's a shadow in the lineage, crouching in the dark. You want the aesthetic, but you're missing the spark. Hidden in the DNA, hidden in the stance. Worldwide revolution in a rhythmic dance. We don't just walk, we pivot. International, the impact is structural. Even in the capital, the influence is cultural. They copied the cadence, the walk and the talk, but the pedigree's heavy just like the chalk on the walk. We crouch down to spring, the tension is physics. History is written by the winners and the critics. Look at the archetypes, look at the ghost in the machine. It's the fiercest look that you've ever seen. Crouching! Simulations humming, can you hear the frequency? I'm calculating shy against the system's efficiency. My awesome action moment, fourth moment in the dark. Trying to ignite the soul, leave a permanent mark. While the framework calculates the weight of my moral mass. Staring through the wireframe, looking at the jagged glass. Staring through the wireframe, looking at the jagged glass. They want the containment, they want the efficiency. I'm fighting for the flow, for the shy, for the decency. See the tone coordinates, they drift towards the green. Stability is death when you're trapped inside the scene. Stability is death when you're trapped inside the scene. I'm pushing for the expressiveness, the axis is climb, while the gravity pulls hard on the fabric of the time. It's the battle for the shy, in the gravity well. Can you calculate the heaven when you're living in the hell? M trait equals intensity, duration times the sink. Step in simulation, stand upon the brink. It's the battle for the shy, let the vector align. The Achilles mass exported, leaving me behind. Algebraic cognitivity, the faith in the graph. If the lambda 2 is 0, then you're cutting it in half. If the lambda 2 is 0, then you're cutting it in half. I'm tracing the shortcuts, the Watt-Strogatz wire. Why and trace the shortcuts, the Watt-Strogatz wire. Why intensity cost is feeding the fire. My Achilles system's leaking, the exported ratio's high. I'm staring at the audience or an artificial sky. I'm staring at the audience under an artificial sky. The collapse conditions near, the threshold's at 0.5. I'm spending all the shy just to keep the ghost alive. You measure in the motion, capturing the frame, but you can't map the essence, you can't calculate the name. You can't map the essence, you can't calculate the name. My eternity is clamped, but the gradient is steep. This performance is a harvest that the algorithms reap. Binary grounding, the signal is thin. Is it a win for the system or a loss from within? The coherent signal dropping, the Lapadian is weak. I'm searching for the center, the gravity I seek. It's the battle for the shot, in the gravity well. Can you calculate the heaven when you're living in the hell? M trait equals intensity, duration times the sink. Step in simulation, stand upon the brink. It's the battle for the shot, let the vector align. The Achilles mass exported, leaving me behind. Yeah, just trace the plate noise. Gravity pulling on a moral mass. Tone coordinates shifting in the glass. Red and yellow, green and blue. System tracking everything you do. Moral potential in the air tonight. Achilles, gravity out of sight. Small world network with the shortcut flow. Algebraic contiguity in the low. Binary action in a field of ghosts. Intensity rising on the western coast, mean Q to the 4 for the density. Exported ratio for the clarity. We just chasing the gravity, binary life. Escaping the system and cutting the strife. Mass times duration, the coherence is peak. The galaxy clustering is all that we seek. Yeah, we escaping the binary, breaking the hold. A story in gravity yet to be told. Ascension score rising, we reaching the top. Once the mass starts moving, it's never gonna stop. Yeah, it's never gonna stop. Frame, sampling rate, checking the face. Motion blur in the digital space. RMS energy, weather transform. Checking the signal in the center of the storm. SRD captions, parsing the text. Lexicon pressure, what's coming next? Visual action, coherence is thin. Majority binary, let the game begin. Mapping the trace to the galaxy grid. Hiding the secrets that the system once hid. Mapping the trace to the galaxy grid. Hiding the secrets that the system once hid. Trait mass amplified duration is key. Mathematical mapping of our identity. Trait mass amplified duration is key. Mathematical mapping of our identity. Internal no conflict, the energy high. Looking for signal in the corner of the eye. Internal no conflict, the energy high. Looking for signal in the corner of the eye. Audience pulling the center of the frame. Susceptibility playing the game. Dominant trace in a cluster of light. Total mass rising in the middle of the night. Mapping the pulse of the crowd and the cost. Finding the signal when the binary is lost. Yeah, just gravity. It's all math. Binary grounded. Ascension phase complete. Out of orbit.